Don't daily grind. I'm having a good time, having a good time. I don't know all the words. Welcome to the Daily Grind and happy Friday. We are back after 2 days of not feeling good and throwing everything up. We are back. It was great. Not really. I am your host, Luke Atmaker, and I have got Rusty with me, brother. How are you, Buckets? You good, man?
I'm good, man. Happy Maroon Friday to all those that celebrate getting ready for the weekend. A lot of college football, a lot of professional football that kicked off last night. Been a good week, man, and I'm hyped for the weekend.
Me too, dude. Even though I'm just gonna be happy to not feel poopy. It'll be nice to be like, oh, I can eat things. Yeah. We got a little bit of Grizzlies news over the 2 days I was gone. I guess if you want to say news, I got the update on my phone, and I it's pretty bad when I just assume the worst when I get a Memphis Grizzlies PR update on my phone. I literally thought someone else was hurt. I like my heart sank when I saw there was an update, and then I was like, oh. Yeah. It's just reevaluated. Mm-hmm. But that's a loaded word in this franchise. For those of you who didn't see the update, it said the Memphis Grizzlies medical update. Forward Gigi Jackson underwent a successful surgery to repair a broken fifth metatarsal in his right foot. He will be reevaluated in approximately 3 months and is expected to make a full recovery. Mm-hmm. So 3 months is what? Christmas, Thanksgiving, right around.
Yeah. Somewhere right around there. And, you know, that's a scary word because Steven Adams was reevaluated for better part of a year and a half or so. And so I do have some PTSD. Morning, King Meeks. Thanks for joining us today, buddy. Yeah. I have some PTSD around that word. I'm a physical therapist. I do reevaluations every day, most of the week. Every time I do one now, I shudder thinking about the Memphis Grizzlies reevaluating Steven Adams. I get to do it again now with Gigi. Luke, I don't know. I just don't trust this medical team and what this is going to look like because it was very different wording, right? Because like they're going to be reevaluated in 3 months. Sham said at least 3 months. Like there's a lot of gray area around this injury, and I don't love it.
I don't love it either. And they tacked on at the end. They said he will make a full recovery. It's like, no crap. He's a 19. Of course, he's going to make a full recovery. He's young. His body.
He's still made of rubber mostly. So yes, he's going to bounce back.
The wording up until that felt very cautious and very like, oh, really?
Yeah, we don't love that, man. And we talk about this, a little shameless plug. Tune in 3:00 today, $2 Sports Show $2. On this same channel, bluffcity.co. We go kind of deep on it. I nerd out a little bit about what the injury is and the rehab protocol, what it looks like, how it can, how you can recover from this. And like all depends on like the mechanism of injury, right? Like how he actually hurt it. If it's stress fracture, that's one thing. If it's just a traumatic injury, that's another. Obviously, we're not going to get all those details. I just, wish Gigi a speedy recovery and hope that our medical staff is not from Timu, as King Meek said in the comment, and they actually get their crap together on this one. We talk about it at length of the show. I don't know that it moves the needle for me a ton for this season. I just want Gigi back.
Yes. Yeah, my biggest thing with this little update was I'm not worried about Gigi. I'm not worried about the rotations. I'm not worried about the chemistry of the team. I'm just worried about the medical staff not knowing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because after having to hear like, oh, this person will be we've heard that word reevaluated bandied around for 2 seasons now, where the date that the player actually comes back seems to be significantly farther than the day that we are first given, which is fine. Mm-hmm. It's just the reevaluated, the lack of transparency that we've gotten in the past from this medical staff about what these players are actually dealing with, and thus what our expectations are as fans, as people that cover the team. Our expectations are we only build those off of what we get. Like if they tell us 3 months, we are going to expect 3 months. That's why we get frustrated and get concerned when that time goes by and nothing happens.
Especially when they're not updating us along the way or giving us a heads up, for sure.
It's like the updates we get are when it happens, what the plan is, what the first date that like the projected return date, which never ends up being the actual return. No one ever comes back early, which is fine, but just tell us, just be like, hey, I just think that we're all big boys and big girls. And if they were like, hey, this could be pretty bad, it's not going to be 3 months. We're going to look in 3 months. We're going to see how it's looking, but most likely he's not coming back then.
Yeah, because we saw it all last year with Marcus's finger and Dez's ankle and Jake's ankle and, all the things that we've been told, all these injuries over the years. I kind of want to make a meme today of that old picture of that guy when he won Zaire and autographed Zaire basketball and he's holding the sign. He looks so sad. I want to make that meme, but it's going to say the Grizzlies are reevaluating an injury. And it's just like, because like every time, yeah, exactly. Because that's my sentiment around it. Again, for years, we've been told we're reevaluating injuries, and all that tells me is we're just going to sit and watch, and the old adage of watch pot never boils, right? Like you sit and watch this injury, it's never going to heal and recover. Like maybe we should try something different to get Gigi back. Because you're right. I'm not concerned about like chemistry on this team. There will be some growing pains. Gigi figuring out his rotation spot. Again, we're talking about the 7th or 8th guy off the bench. In years to come, he's going to be a massive part. He's going to play a vital role, and he might on the back half of this year. The one thing I wish is that he could have got some of these growing pains and bumps in the road out of the way in October, instead of having to figure it out in February and March. We're trying to make a playoff run.
Yes. And it just doesn't bolster confidence. When you lose all but like 2 members of your coaching staff, and it's like, it's clear the front office is more worried about the organization. Like they're not worried about the building of the team. They're worried about behind the scenes stuff, like the coaching staff. When you see all the coaching staff get sent off, it's just the machinations of what's going on behind the scenes. Just as Grizzlies fans, and after 2 years of being burnt, it just makes us nervous.
It does. I agree. TJ, and I'm giving credit on the coaching staff that TJ recognized his weakness and he got a bunch of offensive coaches.
Yes.
But your point stands. Like there's a lot of turmoil and under the surface kind of bubblings going on here. And then we got a medical staff that don't know what they're doing. We're new coaching staff, new rotations, essentially a brand new basketball team. We might, King Meeks. There's a strong possibility that we might. It's up there. If it's not, it's top 3, maybe not number 3. Let's put it that way.
Maybe us and a bad hockey team I'd put up there. I don't follow hockey, but
maybe the Jazz, because it always seems like Laurie Marketing gets shut down in February and doesn't play anymore. So maybe it's like us and the Jazz.
It's like, us too, which I don't know if that's company that I don't want to be in. I just like, this is a good point. When us, King Meeks and Wayno sound like a better medical staff, you might be trouble. I do want to throw this up here. Do we think that this is a good point, Wayno? We're talking about expectations that we get from the medical staff. I mean, that's whatever. Do we think that there's too much expectations on Gigi already? This is an excellent point, because this is stuff that we maybe we've created this expectation based on what we've seen. We got a year in it. We got a half a year of this kid turning it up. We love this kid. Might be one of the most beloved people in the franchise in a long time, from his genuineness, his love for the game. And just, he's a joy to have on this team. Excuse me, dude. I think we need to there's a word, temper. Is that the word? Not temper. Maybe we need to temper our expectations a little bit, but I think you hit the nail on the head. Most likely he's going to be 8 or 9, going to be 8 or 9. Vince was probably going to get some mileage ahead of him. BC, like there's just guys that were probably going to get some run.
Luke, some of these guys will get some run before him for sure. And Luke, fan is short for fanatic for a reason. And I'm not going to single out our fan base, because I guarantee you, if you watch any other daily grind that's going on right now for any other sports team, there are people that are just all in on their role players.
There's only one daily grind. Only one daily grind.
That's it. But I give you Scottie Pippen Jr. as another example, right? Like I'm high on Scottie Pippen. I think he's awesome. I think he's got a role in this team in the future. But like, people talk about Scottie like he's the second coming of Tyus Jones or the next John Moran or the future Chris Paul, right? Like it's the same with Gigi. I think Gigi's going to be an absolute superstar. Like he has all-star level potential. I agree. But it's his second year in the league. He can't even buy alcohol yet. He's not 20. He's still looking over his shoulder to see if his mama's watching so he can say a cuss word. Like we've got a lot of growing to do. We saw some moments. We also see that he's very inefficient, and he's a black hole with the basketball sometimes. Like it comes to him and it doesn't come back out. And so there's some growth that needs to happen there. I wish that could happen in training camp and preseason. We're just going to figure it out on the fly in February. again, I think there's a bright future for Gigi, but Wayno's right. Maybe we're expecting a little too much, like an all-star level player when he's really going to be a good role player this year. I think that's an excellent point, Wayno. He's going to be a great bench role player this year because you got to think about it. Like, is he going to be taking shots away from Ja or Dez or Jaren? Right now, he should not be.
No,
now he's going to
problem.
Something's going really wrong. We've got Dylan Brooks 2.0 here, right?
Yep.
I think there's going to be a world where Gigi is one of our go-to scorers. That world is not the 24-25 season.
No. Wayno, if Gigi Jackson is our developmental player,
oh my gosh,
woo, we're fine.
We're fine. We are fine in the West.
Yeah, we're fine
in the West.
Fine in the West. I ain't worried. Like, it's so as. I don't want to end this little section on a sour note. We're fine in the West as much as the title of this episode might be like the dreaded reevaluated. This is not a season that I am dreading. I am still so high on this team. I'm not worried. I think I listened to a Zach Lowe's podcast yesterday, and it's the first time I've heard anybody. ESPN's Kevin Pelton finally said something positive about the Grizzlies, and he kind of went on a little bit where he was like, are we not talking about them? Like, it's the first time I've heard someone on like a national media scale kind of throw their hat in the ring and they shouted out Vince Williams, they shouted out Jaren Jackson, they sounded out like named people. And it was like, thank you.
You're finally getting it. And that's, but it's fine. Like, I love to be the dark horse. Like, keep us in the background.
Give it to me.
You know, Josh says, stay on that side, like keep that energy, just watch what's going to happen. You know, if I had this injury, like it doesn't move the needle for me a ton right now. If anything, maybe we don't win 56, we win 55 games. Like, I don't think it's like a detriment, right? I think that we're still going to be a great basketball team. Gigi makes us better, but we're still a great basketball team without our 8th, 9th rotation player.
Agreed. Real quick before we transition, I love our guys. You know, it's just everybody's on the same wavelength. We got King Meeks and Wayno both just
love it.
It's what we wanted Zaire to be, and he's already vastly better.
That's it.
Enough about the Grizzlies, though. Let's talk some football, baby. We got football. NFL was last night. Started.
What a game!
What a game, dude. My group chat that I'm in with my fantasy football team. It's my fantasy football group. We last night it was like midnight or something. So I just got we back, fam. We are back. We're back, baby. And did you watch the game last night? Did you get
absolutely watch the entirety of it? Our fantasy football group chat was popping off. That's what I was pulling up right now, like just popping off last night. I said, I miss the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm glad it's back. You know, we're talking Travis Kelce roots being compared to the old Pizza Hut silly straws. Like, we're talking about just like the game in general. So much fun. We are so back, baby. Yep. And if that's an indication of how the NFL season is going to be, I'm freaking here for it, man. What a great game.
Great game.
Stars making plays, Isaiah Likely. So fantasy, I had in one league, I had Lamar and Isaiah Pacheco in Drew's league, the League of Avengers. So I'm off to a very good start there. In my work league, I have Isaiah Likely starting at tight end, and he had a massive game for me last night, 26.1 points last night. It was a good start for the old buckets here in fantasy football.
There you go, man. There's surprisingly the NFL has done this thing where it looks like they're trying to take a game or a page out of the NBA book where you got a game every day.
Yep. One tonight.
Who's tonight? Who plays tonight?
So tonight is the only NFL game of the year where we have a high likelihood of an assassination happening.
Is it in Mexico City?
It's in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
The
Packers and the Eagles. The Eagles are the home team in Sao Paulo for whatever reason, but they've like put all these massive curfews and restrictions, and they can't leave the hotel. And like AJ Brown's like, I'm just gonna be sitting in my room playing video games. Darius Slay's like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. Like, we're not safe here, right? So like, I mean, the NFL's trying to do a money grab. We're playing in Brazil. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, we've got football. Like, after last night, we've got football tonight. We got college all day tomorrow. We got pro on Sunday. We got Monday night football coming back. Like, what? Hey, weekend.
What's your So let's do. What's the biggest NFL game? Like, what if you had to pick one marquee matchup that you were looking forward to this weekend? Give me a player that you're excited to see and a game you're excited to see.
Yeah. So I think last night was kind of like my game. I was excited to see what the Ravens were going to be. I am a Titans fan, and it just killed my soul to watch Derrick Henry in the black and purple. But that guy's like, he is not human, man. He is like a second coming of the Predator. Like that guy is like what we used to think Kawhi Leonard was, right? Like that he's charging under the stadium. Like that guy's not human. And like it broke my heart to watch that last night. But my game was that one. For me, it's probably a homer pick, and that's fine. This is a homer podcast. This is a homer pick. Our season in Nashville rides on the back of one Will Hellman's Mayonnaise Levis. And so we're going to see, I know it's the weekend, Titans Bears, dude. Our season rides on the back of Will Levis. If he can stick with some of the glimpses we saw, like he had 4 touchdown passes in his debut last year, but then he also makes some really dangerous throws. For me, I am wanting to watch what Will Levis is going to do after a full off season, practicing with the ones, being the starting quarterback heading to the season. I'm curious, I'm telling you, man, if we come out and we just whip the Bears, which we could, I'm going to be eating all the mayonnaise this weekend.
So this is a Chicago Bears Rubik's Cube, which Rubik's Cubes are hard. This doesn't even make sense. I've had this for 20 years and I've never figured it out. The game I'm looking forward to is Bears Titans. Bears are going to whoop them.
We have a special edition on Sunday after the game, like immediate reaction after the game.
Hey, there ain't nothing. You want to see the saddest thing in the world? You look up sad, dejected Bears fan Luke.
Oh, I know.
It's just the saddest. It's so sad. It's just like you know that scene at the beginning of Saving Private Ryan where they inform the woman that she lost all 4 of her sons? It's the same thing for me. It's just I just collapse in the doorway. I'm like, oh no.
I get it. So like the Bears are kind of my NFC team. Like I said, I was an Urlacher fan, a Mike Brown fan, Lance Briggs, love those guys growing up. First NFL game I went to was in Nashville, so been a Titans fan. I do like the Bears, but this weekend it's all Titan blue, baby.
It is a big game. It's weird that game is I would consider it a must win for Chicago, and
because the hype, man,
and honestly, Will Levis needs a win. That dude, he needs to. It's prove it season for him. Like he's becoming you don't want to become a punchline about Mayo.
Yeah, you don't want to be best known for having an $8 mayonnaise infused cologne or whatever it is. Like, if for as much as a week 1 game can be, this is a must win for both teams, right? Caleb Williams better have an offensive line in that purse because after what blocked for Justin Fields last year is terrible. Will Levis is a make it or break it season. The Titans made a ton of really big moves on the defensive side of the ball, picking up Ernest Jones from St. Louis, Snead from the Chiefs. Like, we definitely made a move to be competitive this year, much like the Chicago Bears. Keenan Allen, you've got DJ Moore, you rebuilt that defense and retooled the offensive line. Montez Sweat, my boy, Montez State, Montez Sweat, former Mississippi State Bulldog. Like, it's as much as a week 1 must win can be.
It's so funny. It's a week 1 to have a week 1 must win for like multiple teams. It's like, the player that I am really, really excited for, which is it's so strange because I was so out on him coming out of college. CJ Stroud. He's my fantasy quarterback. I kind of pulled the trigger. I threw all of my, normally I don't draft quarterback as high as I did. I chose to draft him maybe a round or 2 higher than I normally do. And I'm nervous. I've got a lot riding on him because I've got Justin Herbert as a backup. I just don't know if.
So CJ Stroud has the tools around him. Yes. He has the makings of a Jordan Love type quarterback, that can continue to grow. I'm super high on Jordan Love. He's my backup.
Me too. That's who I wanted.
I'm a big Jordan Love fan. I was talking about this yesterday. I have Dalton Schultz. I have on my team. Like, if CJ Stroud can avoid, and I hate this because they're in our division, but if CJ Stroud can avoid the sophomore slump, that team's going to be dangerous. They're really good on defense. They added Joe Mixon and Stephon Diggs on offense. They have explosive players. Defense is going to be stout. Like, that team could be really good.
Which that might be the team that I'm most like, man, because I want them to really be good because
it could go one way or the other. But
and I want them to be good because I have CJ Stroud. But like living in Nashville, I'm just going to pull for the Titans if they're not playing the Bears. Just be like, go Titans, tighten up. And it's never good. I never want another team in their division to be good because people in Nashville suck when the Titans are bad. They just get all sour and they're
Yeah, and this is a good, like, it's really the Texans, the Titans, and that's it. I don't believe in Anthony Richardson. He is a trash quarterback. Same with Trevor Lawrence. The Jaguars did nothing to get better. They didn't move the needle. They don't move the needle for me. Like, it's going to come down to the Titans and Texans, and we really need to start the season off 1-0 and get some momentum in Brian Callahan's first year. We've got a lot of weapons in Nashville that are made for that offense. You know, we've got Tyler Boyd, who played in that offense for the last 2 or 3 years in Cincinnati. D-Hop, Calvin Ridley's going to have a massive year, a big bounce back year this year. Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears were made.
You think Tony Pollard is going to be good?
He's made for this offense.
I think so too.
Because it made Joe Mixon so good, and they're very similar players, similar build. They're shifty. They can get the ball in space out of the backfield. Like, I think this, like, for Tony Pollard, this was a phenomenal move for him because he just fits this system well.
I thought so too. I was a little confused as to why all these people were like passing on Tony Pollard, because I was like, man, I think he's going to be good. I really do think he's going to be good.
I want to talk about this for a second. Anthony Richardson has started 17 games since high school. He was bad at Florida. Like, I watched this kid play in the SEC. This is just a product of an agent hyping him up, man. Like, AR yes, he can throw the ball 100 yards. Congratulations. Show me you can hit a 7-yard out, because you can't. Show me you can hit a 12-yard slant, because he can't. Yes, he's athletic. Yes, he has a monster arm. But if this was Madden, his accuracy rating would be like 54. Like, he's not a very accurate quarterback.
Yeah, you want to talk about someone that I've always hype and expectation. I don't know who's out there starting the whisper campaign, but this dude is like,
yeah, man.
The dude he was ranked higher than so many, like, just from a fantasy standpoint. It's like, I'm not biting that. I know he's going to wreck you fantasy points, but still, it's like, I stayed away from that.
That's it. If he can stay healthy, because he hadn't been healthy again since he graduated high school. If he plays every game this year for the Colts, he will match his total of games started since high school. Like, this guy, he's not good, man. Like, this may be clipped on some Colts podcast one day, and I may look like a fool, but I don't think so. I don't believe in him. I just, nothing about he strikes fear in nothing. Congratulations, you can hit the ceiling of your practice facility, but again, you can't hit a 10-yard out. Sorry, man.
As a Bears fan, experience matters in the NFL. If you're going to get someone to lead your franchise to be that guy, we drafted Mitch Trubisky 3rd overall, and that dude had 12 starts. Like,
I was thinking, like, this is like, it's very similar to Mitch Trubisky or what was that kid that the blonde-haired kid from USC, Matt Barkley, or Sam Darnold. They have like a small sample size, Mark Sanchez, and everybody drools over him. Trey Lance, they drool over this small sample size in college, and then when they're playing grown man football, they realize that that's all they are. AR is just an athlete. Sorry, King Meeks, he's not the next Cam Newton. And maybe he'll have some goofy hair in the podcast one day, and that'd be the only comparison.
I tend to agree with you. I'm with you on that. I don't understand the AR hype.
I was out on him, and I'm still out.
I'm with you. We're out on AR here. Before I don't know what friends you have. Wayne, you're hanging out with the wrong people. Ignore that person. Don't hang out with them. I'm excited though. Football's back. Yeah. Football's back. We're going to be talking football on Monday. If we might have a live reaction pod on Sunday, I'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about the weekend. There's a lot going on. It's going to be a good weekend. I'm excited for stuff right after this break.
One of the questions as far as my writings for the Wizards was, what's going to happen with Tyus Jones? And I kind of was able to narrow it down. He had 3 teams that he was primarily looking at, and that were the Memphis Grizzlies, the Phoenix Suns, and the Atlanta Hawks. From my understanding, Memphis they offered him more money. Memphis offer was somewhere around $5 to $6 million, but they wouldn't have given him an opportunity to start. And I believe that was something that was really important for him.
I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't true, but I don't think the Grizzlies actually made a serious run at Tyus Jones. And at that number, I don't even consider that serious. You know what I mean?
A lot of people in Memphis didn't really want to believe that the Grizzlies were interested in Tyus Jones. And I think a lot of, from what I saw on the internet, a lot of that has to do with you guys' expectation of what Scottie Pippen Jr. is going to be. The Memphis Grizzlies very much like Scottie Pippen Jr., but I'm also here to tell you they went out and tried to get a backup point guard.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Representing your country and winning, I think I'd black out on the podium. Because when I watch these people whose names I won't remember a week from now, and they're on the podium and they have tears and I start crying because I'm like, what a moment for this person. I'm getting a little nervous talking about it right now, BK.
I would shed 3 tears.
Oh.
I wouldn't be nose running crying. Not that crying. You know, there's levels to this crying game. There's
shoulder shaking.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even when the tears stop, you still like, that's when you used to get in trouble. No, your parents used to give you, that's when you used to get beaten.
You stop.
Yes, you better stop crying.
Exactly.
Put that bottom lip.
I'm not crying.
Right, yeah. I would definitely be up there. I would cry.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. Happy Friday. You can, thank you. It's so much better when I just don't scream Queen. It's just better. You can catch that show that you just saw. You got $2 Sports Show and Anthony Sain Show. Both of those will be today. Anthony Sain Show at noon, $2 at 3. That will be today. We'll be on Monday. No Bluffing should be Monday.
No Bluffing next gen. We've got Grizzlies 901's coming back soon. Let's go.
Night Court. Man, we got a lot of Tigers on tap with college football coming back.
Oh, hey, real quick. We've got the new G5 Classified. What a show. I was talking about this yesterday with a buddy. Like, it's a new show. Check it out. It's all about the group of 5. They had Barry Odom on the show yesterday. Dude, I was ready to run through a brick wall. Gabe Kuhn and the guys do a great job on that show. G5 Classified. If you're wanting to learn more about college football,
check that
show insiders, check out G5 Classified. It's a great show.
It is great. I saw that. I saw the first time I heard about it. I saw this stuff in here. I was like, wait, what is this? What is this? And then I was like, oh yeah,
that's awesome, dude. That Barry Odom interview, I was fired up, man. I was ready to run through a wall.
Go bluffcitymedia.co. You can catch that out. Like, seriously, go check it out. We got good stuff happening over there, y'all.
Yeah.
Before we get back to our show, I do want to shout out. I forgot, for those of you who don't know about American football, Andrew Luck got tackled so hard his spleen ruptured. Because of that O-line.
They made that boy quit.
Yep. I don't like that's. I didn't know you could do that, but like that's go football. Back to our show, Daily Grind. On Fridays, it's tradition around here to talk about our weekends, the weekend outlook, in honor of the late great Sean Connery, who I was spoiled live on here about a month ago that he was dead, and I have proceeded to just spread the word of his death to everyone. I don't know how so many people in my life missed this.
Yeah.
I'm always like, Connery died, and they're like, bullshit. And I'm like,
it was a sad day because like Sean Connery is in one of my favorite movies, The Untouchables. He's in The Rock. Like there's so many good movies that he's in. And like when he died, like I was in mourning. I wore black. Like when Johnny Cash and Sean Connery died, I wore black for like 3 days. Those are like the 2 celebrities that hit me the hardest.
Those were rough, man. I forgot. Oh man, I was just thinking about John Connery singing that Hurt song.
I think of and then I think about him on Saturday Night Live where he's like, I garfunkeled your mother last night and I can't help it.
your mother's a whore, Trebek.
What a great SNL skit in the Sean Connery mockery there. It was incredible.
Really smart. Rest in peace, Sean Connery. But our show. We talk about the weekends. We talk about stuff that we're excited about, stuff that we're not excited about, because there's more to life than basketball and football. There's just a lot going on in life. I'm happy to go first. This weekend, I'm excited. I've been sick and work's been rough. It's been hot again. This weekend, I'm driving home to see me and Kyla. We're driving home to see my mom and my little nephew. He was born about a month ago. I went home to see him, but I haven't got to physically hold him yet because he was born a month early. And so I'm just going to get to hold him and actually see him and spend time with family.
Nice.
It's going to be exciting because last time I went home, it was more, I was there to help, like I was watching dogs. I was running around helping the family. Didn't actually get to chill. So I'm excited to chill with the family this weekend. Nothing crazy, but that's it. How about you?
This is safe. I know we're trying to keep this family friendly, but this safe space though, right? I ain't doing shit this weekend.
Yeah.
I have been so busy these last few weeks. My dad had surgery. He's doing much better. I've been running around, like going. I've been sick. Maggie's working this weekend. Real quick shout out. I know she watched the show. Babe, I know you're watching. Like, she's been stepping up in a big way for a friend of hers in her life this week. I hadn't seen her much this week, but it's made me really proud of her. She's done an awesome thing. And just like she's one of one and proved it this week. So I hadn't seen her much. So we're going to spend some time together like the next couple of days after she gets off work. I'm excited about it. But as I've already talked about, on Saturday, on Sunday, I am parking my fat ass on my couch. I'm watching football all weekend. I'm going to cook. I told somebody yesterday, I'm going to cook some wings. I'm going to drink some beer. I'm going to cook up a parlay like the degenerate I can be. And I'm going to sit on that couch and watch football. And then Maggie and I are going to watch Game of Thrones at night. Super excited about that. But this is the first weekend in like, dude, since I've been back in the Mid-South. I moved back in December from the beach, and I am looking forward to the first weekend where I just don't have anything planned, and it's lovely.
You are actually enjoying the weekend.
Yes, and I ain't doing nothing, man. And I love King Meeks' idea real quick here. Like, I could do a whole segment about James Bond and, like, who's the best Bond? What are the best movies? There's something for us to talk about.
That might be Tuesday's show. We might do Tube and Tuesdays, all Game of Bond. Game of Bond. I just combined Game of Thrones and James Bond, and I want to watch a show.
Imagine James Bond in Westeros. Let's go.
It would be done so like just think about it. It'd be great. Although he probably would try to sleep with everyone. Everyone. Man, who's Mississippi State got this weekend?
Oh, big game. So we've got our first test. We beat Eastern Kentucky Saturday night. We're the late game. If you don't have anything going on, if you're a night out, we don't kick off till 9:30 Central Time because we're playing at Arizona State in Tempe, Arizona. It's a big game. Look, we looked good early. Arizona State did as well. They won 2 games last year. They've come back. They whipped Wyoming, a good Wyoming team in week 1. They were up 21-0 5 minutes into the game or 7 minutes in the game. I've done some research for it. Like, they're a good team. It should be a good game. Neither of our defenses are very good. So this one, I'm projecting on Twitter, Mississippi State's going to win 38-34. It's going to be a lot of fireworks, a lot of offense. Check it out, 9:30 Saturday night.
Man, I need to. Ever since they legalized gambling in Tennessee, man, it's been a different ball game.
So I've got a real quick, I'm not trying to steal DG's thunder because this is not a sports gambling show. Don't take this as advice. Only gamble with money you can lose.
Especially for me. Don't listen to my advice. Especially for me.
There was a thing on the old $2 Sports show before we joined Bluff City. It was Fade Rusty. So just know that. But I have cooked up a 17 parlay guaranteed to pay rent. I've got Texas winning outright at Michigan. I've got Memphis winning outright over Troy, Arkansas covering against Oklahoma State, the over in Ole Miss, Middle Tennessee State, Missouri winning, Tennessee winning, Oklahoma winning, and your Mississippi State Bulldogs winning Saturday night, baby. That's a parlay to pay rent this month. Let's go.
Man, a 7-leg parlay. I didn't think they were. I thought it was like a mercy rule. They capped out at like 5.
My daddy always told me, if you're going to do something, do it right. And so we're doing a big parlay. We're playing big money, man. Let's go.
That's like, this is why I shouldn't be gambling. Every time I gamble, I'm like, over rebounds, under rebounds, over, under. I'm just like, I'm like, oh, I didn't know it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it pays off $4 million.
I feel good about this, man. This could be healthy. This could turn $20 into about $2,600, and I feel good about it. I think Memphis is big. I think Texas is going to beat the crap out of Michigan. Ole Miss, obviously, is just out to just destroy people, and the over-under on that is 63.5. Ole Miss is going to get that by themselves. They scored 76 against Furman. Like, I feel really good about this one. I just have a feeling.
I might be copying that.
ESPN Bet, check it out, man. Shout out, no free shout out. I don't get sponsorship, but they should sponsor me. That's what that little paper up there says. Sponsor us.
Sponsor us. That's going to do it for our show. Tune in today, y'all, not Grind City Media, bluffcitymedia.co. Check out Jess Benson right now over at Grind City Media, but later today at bluffcitymedia.co. Anthony Saint Show, $2 Sports Show at 3. Check them all out. Going to have good stuff. Going to be talking about the weekend. We got college football. I'm excited for you and Uncle Buck. Catch us on Monday. On Tuesday, y'all, I see the comments. We're going to do a James Bond episode on Tuesday. I've decided we're going to do heroes, villains, favorite Bond. It's going to be great. So tune in for that. Have a good weekend, y'all. Be safe. Enjoy it. Do what we're going to do. Enjoy your weekends. Relax. You've earned it. Have great days. Remember 2 things. Remember to be a little bit weird and remember to smile. See y'all. Have a good weekend. We'll be back next week.